Hey, Adam, I don't have a joke this week.
You don't? Well, what are we doing then?
I don't know. I don't know. We could talk about me teaching Harper what the word naysayer means.
Yeah, I think it's a good lesson to stand up to those who don't believe in you.
Yeah,
Pardon me while I eat my snacks.
Yeah, go ahead and play the music. Oh, wait, what? No.
Let's start the show rolling.
Brothers, but not by birth. Family, but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they want to borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth.
And welcome back into a great, exciting, and wonderful Unrelated at Birth. As always, you've got the one, the only, the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox, Dave Adams, coming to you live and in living color all the way from the top of the state of Alabama. That's right, in Madison, Alabama, in the Unrelated at Birth podcast studios. And as always, I have brought along my friend from Lakeland, the one, the only, the phenomenal brother, Adam Joseph Russell.
Your only friend there, too, by the way.
Although
if you hung around long enough, I'm sure you'd be like the mayor or something.
I mean, that's kind of how I roll.
I brought snacks, too. I'm good to go.
Snacks?
I am sitting down for the first time since sideline warning because I took the standing desk out of my office and gave myself a little bit of a break.
So where is the standing desk now?
It is upstairs. Excuse me while I chew. Audio Veritas, right? It is upstairs in the loft, or soon to be upstairs in the loft. Emma got a sewing machine for Christmas.
Nice.
And so that's where it's going to go. We're going to use it for that and puzzles. Because it hit me, if I stand for work all day, all I want to do is sit. But what if I wanted to stand and put a puzzle together in the loft?
But why would you want to do that?
For fun. It's for fun.
The type of puzzles you do and standing just don't seem fun to me.
I've got two that I have to work on after the white one. It's literally all white pieces that are all shaped pretty much the same. I'll probably take a break from that one every now and then. I've got a Mickey Mouse magazine Christmas one that Blair and the kids got me for Christmas. And then I picked up on Monday at the Magic Kingdom during my 20-year service celebration.
We'll talk about that later.
The four portraits. I was going to say posters. The 4 portraits from the Haunted Mansion, and each is a 500-piece puzzle.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's the full portrait, like fully stretched portrait.
Right. So if they're each a 500-piece puzzle, do they have something connecting them to make them a... See, that would be cool if they did.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame them.
Okay.
And there will be 4 portraits. So there you go.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah, sounds good. I guess with 500-piece puzzle.
I mean, it's cool. I have... So we've done a couple of the Thomas Kincaid Disney puzzles, like 1,000-piece Thomas Kincaid Disney puzzles. And I've got the Rapunzel one framed in Ellie's room. It just, to me, it loses a little bit of luster to frame a puzzle. It's not exactly the same.
It loses the puzzle loses luster.
It doesn't really make it a true picture. Like if you frame a puzzle, it's just not really a true picture to me. Because I still focus on the little bitty lines where the puzzle pieces go together and all that fun jazz. What?
How is that fun, Dave? That's a different kind of fun. I know. But see, the thing
your
is,
definition of fun and my definition of fun are two totally different things sometimes.
Thomas Kincaid, he's not alive no more, so
he
didn't even paint that picture. He didn't even paint it anyway.
No, but his
So if you hang
artist,
that
his
puzzle, though,
studio does.
you put that puzzle together. You took the time out of your day. It's the same reason I can't get rid of most of my books is I have to show people I read these. If you look at this bookshelf, you can find out what I'm interested in.
I mean, look at all the books I've read.
I know what's behind you, and it's not a bookshelf.
You laugh, but I do read a lot of books. It might not be the way that you read books, but I read a lot of books. In fact, I'm reading a very good one right now.
What is it?
Not while we're doing the podcast, but
right this moment.
Have you ever heard of the Disney series Twisted Tales?
Yes, I have.
So I am listening to the one about Tiana. It's called Almost There.
Oh,
Really cool. It's set a year after the book ends or the movie ends.
okay.
And she makes a deal with Facilier, and all these weird things happen. It's just pretty cool to me.
So she had not opened Tiana's Foods at this point.
She has not opened Tiana's Foods. In fact, she doesn't open Tiana's Foods. It's called J&J's Supper Place.
Oh. So the real storyline then, if we assume that all of this is canon, is Tiana wanted a restaurant. By the end of the movie, she had a restaurant. Something then happened over the course of that year.
It's not canon. So I don't think that the Twisted Tale books are canon.
Humor me.
Okay.
Of all people, you love a good what was that noise? A good what if and a good theory, right? So
I do.
She had a restaurant at the end of the movie. What happened to that restaurant? Does it address that in the book?
No, it does not.
So something happened. Then she tries J&J's Supper Place. And for some reason, on a side, she's also got Tiana's Foods. So I think you could run J&J's Supper Place and Tiana's Foods at the same time because that's like a neighborhood co-op, right? So
right. So here's what I think I might have misspoke. It's not right after the movie. She has just become human again, and Naveen is still a frog.
Okay, so got it. The whole idea behind Twisted Tales is it's the what if they had done the opposite of what they did. She actually made a deal with Facilier.
Well, but it's after so they spent their week in the bayou.
Spent their week in the bayou.
Yes, as frogs, went and saw Mama Odie, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're back. She's in the graveyard, the graveyard scene there at the end.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And she's human, but Naveen is a frog.
And she leaves Naveen as a frog and says, I'll take the deal.
I don't know.
That's because you're just listening to it. Oh, you're not going to spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil it. I know what happened, but I'm not going to tell you.
Fine.
It's a good book. I
bet
I've read probably 4 or 5 of these Twisted Tales books. I wasn't a fan of the Anna and Elsa one. It's what if they're sisters, but they never knew it, and they were adopted by different families. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I'd have preferred what if Anna was the one that had the powers.
That would be really cool with her personality.
I'm going to make ice sculptures for everybody. She's a goofy.
The best one I've read to date is the Aladdin one.
I can't show you the world?
No, it's what if Jafar stayed a genie.
Ooh.
Another good one is the Little Mermaid one. It's what happens if Eric marries Vanessa.
Ooh. That's some Maury Povich level drama there, man.
Well, no, because Ariel's down to the sea. Triton is still that little prawn. And so Vanessa, Ursula, has the trident.
And Ariel's voice, so Ariel still can't talk.
Right. So
interesting.
It's still pretty, it's all pretty cool.
That sounds like a job for Aquaman.
I can't remember how that one ends, but it the good guys always win at the end of these.
Of course.
But they're all great books. I'd recommend reading them and they're easy reads. I mean, they're
probably young adult fiction, right?
Yeah, they are. I mean, not going to lie.
There's no shame in that. You're a fan.
Speaking of, and we're already off on a tangent. Here we go. We hadn't even started yet.
That was just the intro.
I watched a TikTok the other day.
No, what? You did
I know,
not.
right? And I'm shocked I didn't send this one
I
to
was
you.
going to say,
I think it
you
was
watched
late.
a TikTok you didn't send to me. How dare you? Wait, I have
Sorry.
one for that.
How dare you?
There you go.
Ooh, that's a new one.
See, I have a whole. You just wait. Just you wait, Henry
Just
Higgins.
you wait. Just you wait. Anyway, but it was interviewing the guy that read all the Harry Potter books for Audible. And talks about how he came up with the voices of
that's cool.
Dumbledore, Hermione, and he said he would read it and go, voice 1, Dumbledore. He's supposed to be blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And make the voice in a recorder. And every time he would do the voice in the first book, he'd have to go back and listen to his new voice. So to me, that seems like it would take umpteen hours to do your recording.
Yeah. And multiple takes because you don't get it right every time either.
Oh, of course not.
Can you imagine?
I
An
think it would
audiobook
be-
narrator, all the takes and the time and
Oh my gosh. I would love to do that. I'm not a good voice actor. I might have a decent voice, but I'm not an actor. I can't do many different inflections and voices. I mean, I could probably read the Bible.
There you go. You should go out to LibriVox. Have you ever gone out to LibriVox?
I've heard of Fiverr. Is it the same kind of thing?
LibriVox is volunteer only. I've read a few chapters of this here and there. I did one of the Bible, but you actually just read a chapter. It's basically a message form, and somebody posts that, hey, there's this book out in the public space that's copyrights have expired, and we want to put it into audio form and send the file out to whoever wants it, right? And you sign up for a chapter and you read it and you have to put the file in a certain format and you submit it and they piece everybody's together to make an audio book, but it's all volunteer.
Oh, that's cool. So stuff in the public forum?
Yeah. Like Steamboat Willie, yes.
How'd you know what I was
Although there
do?
are no words in that, so there's nothing to read. A mouse drives a
There
boat
are
down the
words.
river.
There are words. There are words. Doesn't he say hot dog?
Yeah. I'd like to sign up for chapter 1 of Steamboat Willie.
Hot dog.
Hot dog. Have you ever seen the show Toast of London? Oh, yeah.
No, but if it's anything like what you watched other stuff before.
It's one of the guys Matt Berry is from IT Crowd, and most of the show I have to fast forward through because it's inappropriate. And yes, I do that. But he's a voiceover actor. He's an actor who does voiceover work on the side because his whole career is supposed to be ending and stuff. And some of the stuff in the booth is the funniest stuff. Like they're like, all right, they're like, you've got the script in front of you. It's like, yes, I have it here. All right, we just need you to read those lines and then you're done. And it says voiceover, neigh. And he's like, neigh, do you mean like a horse? And they're like, yeah, just neigh like a horse. And he's like, neigh. And they're like, try it again. And it's just all these different inflections on something dumb like that. It's hilarious. But it's British humor, so you can imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of voice actor and podcasts like we have,
Yeah.
guess what I get to do in 2 weeks on Friday? 2 Fridays from now.
2 Fridays from now. You get to
It's my off Friday. Next off
get-
Friday after this Friday.
to go to a preview of something.
No, but sort of. Westminster, my old high school, has started a podcast class. They've asked me to come be a guest and help these kids podcast. And they said, hey, Dave, do you happen to want to be on our podcast? It's like, come on. Are you going to ask me this?
You were like,
what? Yeah.
What? Me? Really?
Would you expect me to say no? I mean, come on.
I got one more. You were like,
Okay, let's go.
it's like, when is this? Tomorrow? No, Dave, it's in a couple of weeks. Oh man. Gives me time to prepare.
Well, it does, and you know how I am with preparing. I'm not great at it.
No, I think it's going to be what they'll be like. Can you help me, Mr. Adams? Because they'll call you that, right? Because you're an old guy. Mr. Adams, how do you edit a podcast? Crap. How do you run a soundboard?
I know how to run a soundboard.
No, you do. I'm kidding.
I know how to edit a podcast because I edit Top of the World.
Do you really?
I do.
I did not know that.
Yes.
While he's off doing speaking engagements, you're just editing podcasts.
Well, no. Do you know where Terry Weaver is tonight? He's at the Sphere.
Doing what?
Watching you two.
Watching YouTube, that's a ridiculous thing to do in the Sphere.
Yes, YouTube.
That's such a waste of that technology.
He's watching. Although that would be pretty cool. Could you imagine
how ridiculous
watching
when they drop the watermelon off of the Swedish
right.
dam? Yeah, man.
Or watching Unrelated at Birth.
Man, our two big heads.
Sphere.
That would be awesome. That theme music would hit, and people would be like, "I actually know this song." Brothers, but not my birth. What's that?
Unlike you two, if you only know a couple of their songs, I mean, come on.
That's true.
I mean, seriously. Still haven't found what I'm fighting for.
Looking for.
Well, okay, still haven't found what I'm looking for. Elevation, probably.
Vertigo.
Vertigo. That's
With or without you.
all. Okay.
Beautiful
Maybe I do know
day.
a little more.
Where the streets have no name. Stuck in a moment and you can't get out of it.
Okay. Whoa,
Magnificent.
Whoa. The sweetest thing. Okay.
See?
Maybe I do know a little bit more.
Here's my favorite. Here's my favorite. Hang on. Favorite U2 song. And this is why I would go see them. It's magnificent. And so this is what it said. I was born to sing for you. I didn't have a choice but to lift you up and sing whatever song you wanted me to. I give you back my voice from the womb, my first cry. It was a joyful noise.
That's some Psalm 119 stuff.
Right? So, yeah, don't hate on them too much.
I'm not a huge U2 fan. I don't, everybody's so, all right, full disclosure here.
Sure.
I love Super Bowl halftime shows. In fact, oh man, we're not going to be able to have a Super Bowl show.
Why?
Because our off week is the Super Bowl.
That's called a special edition.
Okay. So you saying we can record a show next week?
Sure.
All right. Sure. We'll go live next week. Talk about the Super Bowl. There,
Sure.
There you go. Look at Adam.
I'm sitting down and I got snacks. I'm good to go, man.
I don't think I've ever seen Adam Russell this relaxed.
Got my HTO.
Anyway, full disclosure, everybody loved the U2 2001 halftime show because
Sure.
it was the post 9/11. The only part of that show I liked was when they scrolled the names.
Yeah.
Because it was a cool American moment.
Yep.
U2's not even American. They're Irish.
Not American.
They're not even American. So if we wanted to do a true American halftime show, that should have been like The Boss or, but why did that go to U2?
Let's be for real. The true American halftime show was Britney.
Oh, heck yeah.
The
one before before that.
Yeah, that was that. They got true American checked off of that one. That was us in that time period. So
yeah, we'll talk about that in, next week when we have our best of Super Bowl.
Can I just say I put Bruce Springsteen in the same box as the Beatles.
What?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
What about Seeger?
Oh, Seeger, man. Oh, yeah, I like Bob Seger. But Bruce Springsteen, I put in the beat. Here's the thing. Everybody always plays Born in the USA when they do 4th of July fireworks. It is not a patriotic song.
Right. It's a protest song.
Everybody's like, you're born in the...
Well,
it's like, listen to the lyrics, people. He is dogging all of us out.
So is Sweet Home Alabama.
But what was that protesting?
Do we really want to say what that was protesting?
That's why that's an okay thing to protest. I would think it would be, right?
No, it was protesting. It was protesting the integration of the state.
It was protesting the opposite.
No, it was not.
All right, we'll argue that later. Anyways, we'll save that for a topic. Let's save some protest song topics. That actually could be pretty interesting.
Dude, Skinner was wanting to keep it very Southern.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Their flag is the Confederate. Like, they have the Confederate flag behind them when they sing. They were.
I thought all you guys up there said that doesn't mean anything.
Look, and it said, and the governor's true.
I thought all you guys up there said that didn't mean anything.
It doesn't, but it does for them. It says
it was the 70s after all.
Right. The words of Sweet Home Alabama is, and the governor's true. That's Governor Wallace, who made the courthouse stand, or the school door stand at Foster Auditorium. So Sweet Home Alabama is wanting to keep the schools segregated.
Okay, we'll save that.
Okay, we'll put that right here. All right. Anyway, we're 20 minutes
because actually,
we haven't even talked about what.
So here's the thing. Let's round this out.
Okay.
What is the lyric that you're talking about? In Birmingham, they love the governor. And then what?
In Birmingham, they love the governor. I've lost my train of thought.
Boo, boo. They're booing the governor.
Woo, hoo, hoo.
No, it's boo, boo, boo. They're booing the governor.
Okay.
Neil Young came out and said a bunch of stuff. They replied back with, "We're not all who you think we." Anyway, we'll talk
Southern
about
man
that
don't need him around anyhow.
He's talking about Neil Young.
I know that part.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Neil Young was buried in a Leonard Skinner T-shirt.
Ultimate irony.
that was part of his request.
Should I save the thing that I found for our topic, or do you want me to just go ahead and say it now and we'll
go
talk
ahead.
about it? So right here. Van Zandt was later quoted as saying, "We thought Neil was shooting all the ducks in order to kill one or two. We're Southern rebels, but more than that, we know the difference between right and wrong. And in fact, the boos imply that the band disagreed with Wallace's politics."
Okay.
That's from the old VZ himself. So,
wait. Which Van Zandt was that from? Johnny or Ronnie?
It was Billy, actually.
No, Ronnie's the original lead singer. Johnny is the one now.
It was. Ronnie.
Okay. So I will consider that a real. I will consider that a real quote now.
That was a nice little. See, we touched a topic that probably should, but we handled it well.
No, we skirted it.
This ain't our first rating.
And we say the state of Alabama. We still love that song.
That's right.
I mean,
because you agree with that. You tell all the other states are naysayers, and you let them know.
Right. Exactly. We let a naysayer know.
That's right.
Oh, okay. I've got to tell this story.
Oh, no.
No, you brought it in there. All right.
Dave.
For those that haven't watched College Game Day on January 1st, Reese Davis was doing this whole story on Alabama's lank.
In his very professional manner, too.
Oh, Reese, he sat there and said, Jalen Milroe came up with this let a naysayer know. And Pat McAfee, I love, by the way.
In his very Pat McAfee way. It's all fits with them both.
He jumps back and says, "Oh, naysayer! That's what that N stood for." And so all these Alabama fans are now going with this naysayer instead of some other words. I was joking with Amanda this weekend, and I said, "Okay, you're being a naysayer here. Stop being a naysayer," and just stupid things like that. And little Harper in the back seat. Daddy, what does naysayer mean? Y'all, I have never seen Amanda cry and laugh so hard.
But that's why context is king.
Right. Context
is king. Because, yes, I mean, Pat McAfee used to be in the league, right? So, I mean, he knows the whole deal. But I honestly, I don't really agree with what I said.
I know.
Earlier, you and I had a whole conversation about that. Mm-hmm. I appreciate the marketing campaign, and I know that the university wouldn't put their A on anything that wasn't on the up and up, but that would be really stupid, right?
Right.
But yeah, that whole thing, that game day thing was just...
It was awesome.
Not nearly as awesome as McAfee at the SEC championship, though. That was the single greatest game day moment of all time. That was the best.
So, okay. This will get us into our WWE talk here in a minute.
Wow. Okay, let's see how you get this going. Go ahead.
Oh, no. So this weekend, Pat McAfee came back to WWE, and he's now the lead play-by-play guy, one of the play-by-play guys for WWE Raw. He's always been in WWE, but he took time off for ESPN. So with ESPN having the McAfee show, and there was the controversy with ESPN and the Pat McAfee show and Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
It sounds like, and a lot of College Game Day purist didn't like Pat McAfee on College Game Day. How bad? And I have to do this, Adam. I'm sorry, it's part of your company, but I have to.
Let me test the button. Okay, good. We're ready.
How bad did ESPN fumble this? Because you've got for the past 3 or 4 years, College Game Day was irrelevant. It was people didn't really want to like watching College Game Day.
It's a tradition thing now. It's a habit.
It's a tradition thing now. But this year, Pat McAfee breathed so much life into College Game Day. It made naysayers want to watch College Game Day because what is Pat McAfee going to do this week? If you're ESPN, all you have to do is give Lee Corso one more year and say, Lee, this is your swan song. This is your sunset year. We're going to let you do one more year. You're getting old as is. People are already seeing that you are probably not the coach anymore. You've had a couple of strokes. It's time to hang up the college mascot heads, buddy.
Yeah.
And then you let Corso have one more year, have McAfee on the desk, and then Pat McAfee is your Lee Corso. It's genius because ESPN, you have Pat McAfee, who I'd say 99% of college fans love him, but you have your very vocal 1% who don't like him because he speaks his mind. Yeah. And ESPN hates when people speak their mind.
Well, I think the problem, it's a double-edged sword because having Aaron Rodgers on is always a little bit of a crapshoot, right? In terms of like going off the reservation with stuff. Everybody knows that. But I think that you've got a 5-year, umpteen $1 million deal with a major media corporation, having somebody come on and start talking vaccines. You have to be a little bit smarter than that. Look, even when he was a punter, I never really knew Pat McAfee before this. I don't watch a lot of NFL. I don't watch a lot of wrestling. But going back and watching some of his punting highlights, for a punter, man, he had the attitude, dude, like the swagger.
And he had that little swagger walk he did.
And it's great. And I think that what he did at Game Day was, I think the whole "so you think you can be a kicker" kind of segment they had where he kept upping the tuition he would pay if somebody made it, just was one of those things that Game Day used to do. And Game Day settled into this kind of week in, week out script where they would be feature of the game, little bit of talk, sad story
Tom
commercial.
Lenardi's sad
story commercial. And then
they've lost Tom Lenardi now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But a couple of cool stories, another little emotional thing, and then we're going to pick stuff. Him saying stuff whenever he wants and all that kind of stuff and bringing that podcast kind of mentality to the show. If you're going to move ESPN over to a streaming platform, which Iger's talked about doing publicly for a while now, if you're trying to set that off as its own little item, potentially, that's exactly what you're going to have to do. Because once you step out of being bundled with cable, you've got to compete against YouTube and everybody else. And if you don't have somebody like that, what's your product going to be like, right? I mean, you might as well just go and hire, honestly, whoever has Mr. Beast talking sports is going to get more eyes than a
Dave Portnoy. It's Dave Portnoy.
Barstool, right? More people watch Dave Portnoy eating pizza than watch most sports content that's on cable TV, right? Whether it's Fox Sports, Bally, or anybody else, right? So I think that he is great. I'm glad that he got a chance to come back. I hope that whole thing doesn't end up being anything bad, but you got to come with a little bit of a business mentality and not let that happen.
Edge.
Yeah,
but
you can have the edge.
That's what people love about
You can have the edge and not lose your contract at the same time, though. You don't have to sell out one way or the other, right? And I get it. He stands up, he leans over to the mic, he wears his black sleeveless shirt, and he's got this whole show and this whole thing. But you're not Joe Rogan, dude. You signed on with ESPN. Joe Rogan's can say whatever he wants to because he is independent, right? Look, you're not independent.
If the man can get Nicholas J. Saban out of his shell and actually come on a weekly show, the man's got some skills.
Oh, he does. There's no doubt about it. But you still signed a contract with a major media corporation. Oh, that was your applause?
Yeah, because he talks to the microphone and then he'll go,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, come on. And What I like about him best, and most actually, is what you saw on College Game Day is what you see when he does WWE.
Yeah.
So can you imagine that over the top? He gets up on a desk and bounces up and down when entrance music comes on. It's just, to me, he would make any sports story or any sports show must-see TV. Now, Amanda Terry, Turbo's wife, anytime he comes on, she hates him because she said, he just reminds me of a male chauvinist. He's not, but, black wife beater, he shows off. I mean, I get it. That's he plays the part, but he's a family man. He talks about his wife all the time. So what are you looking up?
I'm just looking up the definition. I don't think that he patronizes, disparages, or denigrates females in the belief that they are inferior.
No, but he probably gives off that look.
I'd rather have that look than watch them milk another year or two out of Corso. Poor guy. I love him to death. He made game day. The headgear pick is what everybody sticks around for. It's the exclamation point at the end of the sentence. And when UCLA played in Tuscaloosa, I got a chance to meet the three of them on the quad. Super nice, signed an autograph, really nice guys. Back when it was, who was the other guy? It was Herb Street, Corso, and Fowler.
Right.
And, they knew who they were there for. And I think at the end of the day, Pat McAfee knows who he's there for and who he's competing against. And you and I watch ESPN all the time, watch other sports broadcasts all the time. But we just want to consume the stuff. I don't want to hear people's long-winded opinions all day long about stuff. And
I disagree. That's something that I like to listen to. I like sports talk. I like hearing.
I don't have a problem with some of it, but I want to consume something else. I want to hear another side to the story. And I think Pat being in the league, and I think some of what he talks with Saban and stuff, it brings another element to the old tired Nick Saban process, blah, blah, blah. He brings a complete other side to a Nick Saban interview that no one else has the guts to pursue because they're intimidated by him. He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
I don't want to sit here and watch Greeny talk about and Stephen A. holler at each other. And I know they're on the same show, but I don't want to around the horn. I'm all about that. A different way of showing it, a cool little, game they play or whatever like that. That kind of stuff. Pardon the interruption. I used to love that kind of thing, right? It had its own gimmicks and stuff, but it's like the Food Network and all these channels have gone to nothing but competitions all the time. And you don't learn anything about cooking anymore. Right. I feel like sports has gone the way of you don't learn anything about the game or what it's like to be these players or what they're doing. You don't even really know the scores of anything anymore unless you watch ESPN News. It's hard to catch up. But no, I think I enjoy him on game day. 110%. I hope it lasts a long time.
He needs to be the heir apparent to Lee Corso.
Oh, sure. Well, you have to have somebody who's the polar opposite of Reese Davis. Right. I love Reese, Alabama alum. More power to the guy. He is, even Fowler wasn't as straight-laced as Reese Davis is. Well, you have to have someone on the opposite side, Yeah,
Reese Davis is a true reporter.
Yeah.
Like, he is sit at a desk and talk.
And that example you gave of that whole naysayer thing is, he was going through the story, reading from the prompter, sharing the facts, and Pat McAfee just throws a stick of dynamite in the middle of the conversation.
Right.
The whole
and it
segment
blows up. I mean, it's hilarious. Yeah. It was great. Man. It's pure Pat McAfee.
Yeah. And it's not even what it was about more than it was just the entertainment value.
Right. Exactly. So I bring Pat McAfee up just because we got to talk some WWE stuff.
Yep.
So here's my thing. Vince McMahon. We knew he was a sleazebag, right? I mean, you watched WWE in the 90s. You even watched some WWE in the 90s. And they were not the most family-friendly thing. They had scantily clad women. They had a kiss my...
They had a guy
Where's
crack
your finger
beers
on the button?
Oh.
A kiss my club. Yeah.
They had a guy cracking beers and flipping off the crowd.
Well, cracking beers is not bad, but the flipping off the crowd,
There are kids in the audience, man.
Nah, it was called the. Yeah, okay, yeah, never mind. Never mind. I was about to say something. And I was about to make it. Okay, anyway, but the allegations that have come out in the last 2 years have been pretty damning, and I can say that because it's not a true cuss. That's not a cuss word. It's it's an adjective.
It's an adjective.
But they have been, but none have gone to the extreme of what we heard this last week. And I'm just going to read the Variety article here. It's not very long.
Oh, that's a reputable source.
Well, it kind of is when it comes to this stuff.
Sure, yeah.
A former employee of WWE sued founder Vince McMahon, alleging he abused and coitously exploited her when he was CEO of the wrestling entertainment company, and that McMahon allegedly trafficked her to other men as a pawn to secure talent deals with prospective wrestlers the company was recruiting. The former WWE employee, we're not going to say her name, filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court for the District of Connecticut, naming McMahon, WWE, and former head of talent relations John Laurinaitis as defendants. The lawsuit alleges McMahon, Laurinaitis, and WWE violated the Trafficking Victims Prevention Act and includes claim of civil battery and intentional infliction of emotional distress in relation to years-long. You have your finger on the button? Yeah. And emotional abuse the lady said she endured as an employee of the WWE. The lawsuit seeks unspecified monetary damages as well as declaratory judgment that a non-disclosure agreement she signed while she was an employee is void and unenforceable.
I mean, obviously now it is.
Right. Reps for McMahon did not reply. So this goes on to kind of talk about what happened. This lady was given a job by Vince McMahon on the legal team. Some of the things that she was instructed to do are not for a family-friendly podcast.
Or for a workplace either.
She was given this job by basically as a favor, is what she says. All of her coworkers were saying how busy they were, how just stressed they were when she had nothing on her plate. She was told to go see John Laurinaitis at breakfast.
Sounds like something you get when you work out too much. Man, my elbow hurts. I got Laurinaitis.
Yeah, well,
sorry, not to make light of this. Go ahead.
I know. And B, breakfast, if you know what I mean.
I don't, but go ahead. Please continue before you explain it. Please.
She was told to take pictures of herself doing things and sending them to the story doesn't tell who this potential employee for WWE wrestler was, but said former UFC champion Brock Lesnar.
Wow.
Told to take video of her doing things and send them to Brock as part of the deal to get Brock to re-sign with WWE.
So again, real quick, not to make light of this, but when you say his name, don't stretch out the Barack and then make a pause, because I thought you were going to say Obama for real. I'm glad you prefaced that with like a champion thing.
Well, that's so when I say wrestling fans will know that's how.
Oh yeah.
How Heyman says his name. But the kicker to me is, yes, the allegations. The kicker yet? Well, no, we have. The allegations are bad. But to me, the bad part is using her as it's sex trafficking. It truly, 100%.
I told you.
Sorry, it's trafficking. for hold up, I have to look at my thesaurus here.
Pick a better one than the last one you picked.
Copulation.
Okay. We get it.
For making whoopee. Coupling. Let's get it on.
I'm going to hit every button and just see what sound it makes if you don't move on. Oh no, he's going to do
but I mean, so there's two ways to look at this, and let's play devil's advocate here. No,
we did so good with that other topic, and you're going to play the devil's advocate with this one.
No, I'm going to talk for a second. Why is this a civil claim court? Why aren't we bringing criminal charges against him?
Okay, all right. Is that the devil's advocate position?
Well, why aren't we bringing criminal charges against him? Because if it's not criminal charges, if we were bringing criminal charges, I have no qualms saying, "Yep, this lady was wronged. Go after him, hang him by the gonads, and take him out."
I'm kidding. So what are they looking for in the civil suit?
Undisclosed amounts of money. I get it. If you were wronged.
Oh yeah, I mean you have to go both routes. I agree with you. You go both routes. You punish him legally, and then you punish him financially. But you have to go the legal route first so that it doesn't happen to anybody else. Right.
So why aren't we going?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Now there was an NDA involved. Part of the NDA was violated when he stopped paying the money. So the NDA was kind of cut. And the reason McMahon sold WWE to TKO to UFC was to take it off of being a publicly traded company, because there's some rumors that he paid this NDA with company funds.
Oh man.
Right, when it was a publicly traded company.
So can we stop? I'm trying to think of how to get this point across well. There are other public figures that have had unsavory dealings where they have made people sign NDAs for cash payouts.
Right.
Why are we relying on these idiots to run our businesses and our economy and our country? I'm going to talk for a second now, and I don't think I'll need the button, but can we please stop letting these people run our economy and our country and big business? Can we please just take control of something? Yeah. And I'm not for a January storming of the Capitol bull crap, but for Pete's sake. So where are the decent people anymore? And why can't any of the decent people get any of these opportunities and make something of themselves more than just like we do today? Anyway, go ahead.
Right. So the thing with Vince is his dad owned what was then the WWWF.
Yeah.
So it was New York Wrestling. And Vince in the 80s, when Vince's dad passed away, Vince was left the WWWF, and he took all these territories. Because back in the 60s, 60s, and 70s, wrestling was a true territory thing. You had Georgia wrestling in the South. You had Texas wrestling with the movie. It was the Iron Claw about the now their name escapes me. My boys are going to yell at me for some reason. I don't know why they escaped me. All the brothers.
Yeah, we talked about that movie.
Right, we did. So you had Iron Claw. You had
that was the guy from Inspector Gadget, right?
Yeah, that was his name. Yes. You had all these Midwest wrestling. You had Pacific Northwest wrestling. McMahon was the first carny. I mean, let's be honest. Wrestling originated from the carnival, so they're true all carnies.
Yeah.
I mean, kayfabe. It's carny speak.
Sure.
So McMahon was the first to bring all these territories together to create a worldwide wrestling.
Truly
group.
WW. Yeah.
Right. And the reason that McMahon for years said the WWE, WWF is Vince McMahon. And then the last probably 10 years, he lost touch with what the wrestling fan really wanted. But wrestling would not be wrestling without Vince McMahon. I can't sugarcoat that. I can't not glorify what he's brought into the sports entertainment world that I actually like.
But here's the problem. The dude over 16 years already knew about 4 women. Mm-hmm. Over a 16-year span, he was paying $3 million. That seemed to be a standard number, right? $3 million a pop. And now there's a 5th one. And
well, this was one of the ones from 2 years ago.
So it is one of the 4.
Yes, okay. This is one of the 4.
Over 16, and I guess this is my point. And I know that there are reasons, and I know NDAs, et cetera, et cetera. I would hope that if the NDA payments had continued, would we never have known about this?
Probably.
That's scary.
So,
but here's the other. Here's real quick. Let me close this out. What I mean by what I said earlier is, if someone wrongs you in that kind of a way, don't sign a piece of paper. Shut the dude down.
Right.
And I know
Agreed.
It's easy. A lot of people out there are. It's easy for me to say that because I check the boxes of all the power structure, right? And in terms of gender and race and all of that stuff. We have to do a better job of allowing the people who have been wronged to know that they can be supported and can stand up and not let this go so long.
Amen.
But also not, if she was on the legal team, I assume she had a legal background. I don't know that for a fact. But don't sign your life away. It's not worth the money for the fact that you have to know that someone else, if the first person this happened to would have stood up, the other 3 wouldn't have happened. It's not just about you. And I just pray that in our society, we would understand that there needs to be a change where we don't continue to reward people. Because if that happened over a 16-year span, the one Vince McMahon thing that sticks in my mind is when he jumped in the ring and tore both his quads.
Right.
That happened after all of this or during. So the dude was making things that stood out to people that ratcheted up his myth and his legend higher and higher while these women were suffering.
Right.
And we're all, it's like, we should not accept that. And I don't want to go as far as saying that we should boycott the thing because he's not involved anymore, but he built it.
But it's not his anymore.
If Hitler built a car, would you drive the car and say, well, he doesn't own it anymore. I have the bill of sale.
You mean Volkswagen?
Would you drive a car?
Do you know friends that have a Volkswagen? I mean, it's the same thing.
No, I don't.
Volkswagen.
Actually.
Well, I
but
do.
you know what
Volkswagen
I mean.
is a Hitler company. It was a German company made for the Nazis.
Yeah. Well, we have to do better as a society where these people don't feel like, and by these people I mean any victim of anything. I don't mean these specific 4 individuals, but anybody feels like they can stand up against this kind of stuff, whether it's the president or the president of a company or anybody. It's ridiculous.
So let me make this even worse. 2020 was the year of the movement, right? You had the BLM.
I'm not beeping out BLM. I'm just getting ready for whatever's coming, just in case.
Well, no, it was it
was the summer of the riots and stuff like that.
Right. In wrestling, there was the Me Too movement. And
is that when all of that came out? Was during that?
Yeah. Well, no. There were several wrestlers who were called out for how they treated women and canceled. There are wrestlers that were very prominent in the 2020 era. Marty Scurll, Joey Ryan, to name 2, who were known to take advantage of unsuspecting younger wrestlers coming up in the business, and they don't have a name anymore. One of them was cleared of everything, but because his name was up in that movement, he still has struggles getting back to where he was. Yeah. Vincent Kennedy McMahon had nothing that came out in that era. Nothing.
But that's my point. And again, I know that the structure the structure is such, well, there were NDAs in place.
Right.
And I know that the structure is such where it doesn't always provide this, but there should never, you shouldn't have to have a movement to have people be honest about ways they've been wronged, especially if it's illegal and especially if it's significantly traumatic. Now, if you don't like your boss, well, that kind of stuff. But if someone has been abused, we shouldn't have a movement and Alyssa Milano makes it okay. And now everybody feels like they can do it, because what happened to all of that, you don't hear about nearly as much because people don't feel comfortable anymore. And we have to continue that conversation and just get the rats out of Denmark, man.
Yep.
It's a shame. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I saw he resigned. I thought, well, he was old and he tried to grow that weird mustache. And I guess maybe he's decided this isn't for him anymore. Because everybody's got that meme of him crying and doing the motion at his throat.
Right.
I thought maybe he's decided he had enough, and you read and it's like, wow, that's
it's rough.
I mean, you took and that's the big, and not the big thing. The big thing is obviously impacted the individuals, but the other side of this is he took something his dad built this huge mansion on top of it and promptly set it on fire.
Big
and
time.
it'll burn down all the things down to the foundation his dad built. That's the shame of it.
Speaking of, all right, can we talk for a second about something else?
And now for something completely different.
It kind of is.
Please.
I sent you a GoFundMe last week.
You did.
From a name.
I donated to it. Is that okay?
No, I hope not. Oh my gosh. They've already reached their $11,000 goal.
Oh, give me a break. 11,000. Okay, you set some context here, Dave.
Okay. This is the Birds 12U Travel Fund. Let me read you the...
It's a baseball team, right?
Yeah. Baseball is life, and our teammates are brothers. Baseball gives us purpose, and we are driven to be our very best, in bold letters. In order to compete, we must raise funds. The Birds 12U team is coached by two great coaches, and our team is diverse, hardworking, and really good. We've won many
That's the most
championship
important
rings.
part.
Yeah. Diverse was the most important part in this, the way it's
No,
written.
I know. That's, yeah.
Yeah. We've won many championship rings. Our coaches instill lessons, not just about baseball. They teach us leadership and life skills. They are good people. We are lucky to have them. I am reading a direct quote. This is how it's written.
Leadership.
We hope you will make a donation to keep our team competitive. Your donation will go to travel costs, uniforms, and dues for the families. We also might use your donation for pins or novelty items to make our tournament memorable and have experiences beyond the field. Thank you so much for your consideration. We won't let you down. The Birds. They asked for $10,000. 345 donations have been given. This went up. It doesn't say the date it went. Oh, it created May 19th of 2023.
Wow, it's been out there that long?
Yeah. They have $11,350 raised. The last donation was $10 10 hours ago. The creator of this is one Alyssa Bogliari.
Oh, Bogliari.
Now, that name might not sound familiar to you until you Google it. Keep in mind, they're asking for you to give your hard-earned money.
Wait, before you reveal it, go back to the part where it says your donation.
We hope you will make a donation to keep our team competitive.
Yes.
Your donation will go to travel costs, uniforms, and dues for the families. We also might make use your donation for pins or novelty items to make our tournament memorable.
Yeah. Novelty items.
Alyssa Bogliari.
So who is that? Does does her and her husband run a pizza chain, or
who is that? Well,
I have no idea.
I'm going to play something for you. Give me a minute while I search it.
How to pronounce Bogliari? Bogliari.
Bogliari. Since we aren't on,
and don't forget we have a
right?
question also, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Okay, just reminding you while you were searching up the Google. Oh, what is this?
This is where you might know the name.
Okay.
Give it a second.
What is this? What?
There's more to life than what you're living. So take a chance.
For you younger listeners, this is a theme song that was popular when Adam and I were kids.
Very much so.
A young Tony Danza was the star of this show as the dad.
Great show
Called Who's the Boss? And
is Tony Danza like her? Is that Alyssa Bogliotti's? Is he related?
Tony Danza had a daughter in this show, and that daughter was one Alyssa Milano.
Hey, that's the same first name as the lady on the GoFundMe.
And Alyssa Milano married a young man by the name of David
Bugliotti.
So therefore,
David Bugliotti.
David Bugliari's wife, Alyssa Milano, is asking for you to fund her child's 12U baseball travel
for $11,000. Yeah. She must have donated all her money to the little dogs and kittens.
Or some other.
Where's my beep? I'm on a different. I don't know what you're going to say. You're scaring me.
I stopped.
When you self-censor, I know it's really bad. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get the Adam's father. Virgil asked a question.
Hi, guys. I got this week's Virgil asked a question.
Woohoo!
The history of this company began in 1932 when
Boeing.
Ole Kirk Christensen, who owned a Danish carpentry workshop
Don't Google it.
that
Don't Google it.
only produced furniture, started making wooden toys.
Don't Google it.
And
You won't have to.
later named the new toy company in 1934. Later, when injection molding was introduced to Denmark after World War II, Ole Kirk bought an injection molding machine for the company to make toys in 1947. That same year, Kirk and his son obtained samples of plastic interlocking pieces which inspired their next creation in 1949. The system continued to be modified with new molds and colors being added and removed over the decades. The company still continues into the 21st century as a popular and very profitable line of construction kits and related products and services. Despite its expansion, the company remains privately held. My question is, what is the name of this company?
Have you ever stepped on one at midnight, barefooted?
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Yes, I've stepped on many Legos.
Yeah.
Their very first toy, what was Lego's very first toy? Do you know the answer to that, Dave?
I do not.
A wooden duck. Wooden duck. And then it was, the pull-along kind that has little wheels that roll and stuff. Yo-yos. And then during World War II, they made a wooden gun that was very popular as well. I read a whole book on them before he sent this question, but they actually had their main carpentry shop burned down twice. Once in 1942 and I think once in the 50s or 60s. They've lost their whole manufacturing capability twice. I'm like,
okay.
Where were you storing your varnish?
Right?
If it happens once, okay, accidents happen, but twice. So I bet they're very happy they went into the plastics industry where there aren't that many fires.
Real. And you and I both have just recently put together a Lego set here in the last month.
That's right. Not together.
But I put together the Up House, which it was easy.
Yeah.
I could have done it in a night or two, but Ellie and I kind of had a thing where I'll do one bag a night.
Yeah.
And yours was a little harder.
The Pac-Man machine.
Yes.
And then I also have the Indiana Jones El Dorado temple set too, with the idol and the ball and all of that.
Kalima.
No, that's Temple of Doom. This is the one from the beginning of Raiders when he puts the sandbag on the thing and all that kind of stuff.
So speaking of 80s movies, the new Ghostbusters trailer came out yesterday. I've seen it. Adam has not. So what we're going to do...
No, I'm saying no to you.
Why?
Because you wouldn't let me go live today. So everybody knows that. Let's do it together, record the video, and put that as the teaser this week.
Okay. You ready?
So, no, we're going to do it after.
Okay.
As a separate thing.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Because I have to talk something that I'm very excited about.
And we would talk about that, because I also want to talk one other thing that's not, that we didn't talk about as well.
Oh, you have a topic that was not on the list?
I do.
We're not allowed to do that.
Go ahead and talk yours.
So, I'll give a just brief summary. We're getting close to time, I know. I had my 20th service celebration at the Magic Kingdom on Monday. Hard to believe it's been 20 years, but it has. I've felt every one of them. That's
Can
what
we
I was
post
saying
the
all
picture?
night.
Do you have the picture of you that you had found when you were like the first year at Disney, and you sent it to me a couple of years ago and said, look at this.
Oh, I'm sure I have it. Yeah. I'm sure I've got it somewhere.
I think we need to post that.
I'll send a picture
group.
of the picture on my ID too. It is the picture I took on day one. I have not updated my picture on purpose. Every ID I get has 22-year-old me on it. But I went and it was great. They had buffets and the fireworks show was really cool. Oh, let me finish the food part first. They had buffets. Every QSR was open for free.
Shrimp.
The big shrimps. The ice cream place in Fantasyland has the best hot fudge sundae. It was so good.
Wait.
The one next to Winnie the Pooh.
Parlor.
I don't know the name of it. I just
wait. The ride Winnie the Pooh.
Mm-hmm. There's an ice cream place right next to it, and then there's a hot dog place next to that.
Okay, Friar's Nook.
There you go. See, I knew you would know. But anyway, we had that. It was really good.
Can we also talk about how you sent me a picture of the shrimp?
I did. So, okay. Yeah. So in the first the buffet we ate at right after we got to walk down the red carpet, which was amazing. They had this huge basket on ice of shrimp. Huge shrimp. Oh, thanks for the Pat McAfee clap, Dave.
I was doing something else.
Oh, what was that? Oh, yeah. Easy, boss. Don't get me on that tangent. They had this big, big thing of shrimp. They have them all over the park. They actually, I'll send you the picture. They had ice sculptures throughout the park that they had set the shrimp on to keep them cold. And one of them was the light cycle in front of Tron. That kind of thing. And I sent Dave a picture and I said, check these shrimp out. And he said, oh, wow, you're at Tomorrowland Terrace. And all you could see of this place was the floor, like a piece of the floor.
But you could also, I could also see the overhang, the buffet little piece.
Could you?
Hang on,
I gotta look at the picture again.
Yeah. So it's that yellow and blue overhang. And this last trip I went to Disney, we did the firework pre-dessert party. And so I remember what that buffet looked like.
You cannot see it. You can see a piece of yellow and purple floor.
Okay.
Like literally, that's the only information you needed. You have a problem, and we're doing an intervention. And I love it because my kids like to eat. But
can that intervention be held at Magic Kingdom?
It sure can. We'll do it right on that spot where the shrimp are.
Okay.
But one of the cool things was they did a fireworks show that was basically it was happily ever after. But they tagged some stuff on the front end to it, a special audio they had recorded. You know, your time in Magic you've made and all this stuff. And they did the initial fanfare of Fantasy in the Sky, followed by the intro with the single firework to Wishes. And then led into Happily Ever After that. So it was all the fireworks shows at the Magic Kingdom. Like, if you've been here this long, you've seen all of these things, you know? And so that was really cool. But yeah, we got to do Tron twice. And
wait, nothing about Enchantment?
Enchantment, yes. Okay. That was the one in between Wishes and Happily Ever After. Yes, they did play a portion of that. We got to do Jungle Cruise at night, which is a rare treat. I don't often get to do
cool.
that. So yeah, it was basically like the whole park was open plus buffets, and it was all free, which made it great. We were the only people on Buzz there for a bit because 20 years and over get in an hour before everybody else. Right. So we had like all of Tomorrowland just basically to ourselves for a while because everybody's scattered, you know, so everybody split up. And so they have character meet and greets. We saw Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps.
Cool.
And saw Elvis, Stitch dressed up as Elvis.
Oh, wow. He only does that during Halloween.
Yeah, so some of the rare ones are out, so it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were
really
Jack
good.
and Sally out?
They were, yes.
Oh, so they brought all the Halloween ones out.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was good. Yeah, the whole thing was good overall. So,
do you have your Simba?
So I have my Simba right here.
You gotta show it.
Hang on.
Well, this won't be the clip because the clip has to be.
I'll still let you see. There it is. It's got my name on it just to prove that it's real.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
Everything. So yeah.
Oh, so that's Mufasa.
That's Simba.
That's Mufasa.
It's Simba. It's from the end when he's on Pride Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the thinner mane. Mufasa was bigger.
What's 25?
25 is Tinkerbell.
So you got to stay for 5 more years now.
Well, I hope to stay anyway. Let me look it up. So 20.
What's 50?
Oh, so yeah, I'll build to that. Hang on. So 25 is Tinkerbell on a spool. 30 years is Jiminy Cricket on a little burnt down candle on a lampstand. 35 is Pinocchio holding an apple. 40 is Donald Duck. So at least got to hit 40.
Right.
45 is Walt on a stool, like sitting on a stool with Mickey in his lap.
I would need 45.
Oh, hang on. So 50, which is something they haven't been able to do for very long. 50 is the Fab Five. I think it's the Fab Five. They take a picture of you and put it on an easel, and it looks like the Fab Five are painting your picture.
So to hit 50, you would have to work till you were 73.
72, technically.
Do you think you could do it?
Actually, oh no, I'm sorry. 50 is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay.
And then 55 is the one they just recently had to start doing, which is your picture and the Fab Five is painting your portrait. So
you can't do that. There's no
77.
way.
I could be president at 77, man.
There's no
I could
way
be president
you
at
can work
77.
till you were 77.
Why not? Have you ever been to Yacht and Beach Club?
I have.
Have you ever met the captain that greets you at the door?
I have.
How old do you reckon he is?
That's true. How old was the dude at Grand Flow?
Oh, I mean, same kind of thing, right? It's
But I
someone
don't
who's
think he
doing
had
that
worked
to
for the
make
company.
to,
He
to-
just did it as a retirement job.
That's what you do, man. You're still counting. You're still ticking
that's
years,
true.
man.
So you would stop being IT.
Oh,
and you would
yes. Yes. When I got that government cheese, I'm kidding. When I get there, when I can retire, and if there is a way where you can get all of those benefits and still keep checking time, man, I would stand there and smile at people all day long in an ice cream suit at Grand Floridian. I'd dress like a captain. I'd be the wilderness dude at Wilderness Lodge if that's what they wanted. Yeah, the wilderness must be explored. Anyway, so we were coming off of Tron, and they have added some Star Wars merchandise to the Tron gift shop. And
First off, why haven't you bought the Tron sign yet? The light up Tron sign yet?
Light up Tron sign. Let me Google this. I didn't see that in the
don't
store.
know?
You don't know? Oh, you didn't know?
You better call
Somebody. Is this a thing? I don't see it on Shop Disney.
Yeah, because it's not. It's only at the parks. I'm shocked you hadn't bought it yet. I sent it to you.
I haven't seen it.
I sent you a picture the day Tron opened. It's the Tron.
Like the marquee on the
sign.
video game?
Right. And it lights up. You're like, oh my God, does this light up? I said,
Man,
yes.
Let me tell you, dude, they had a sweatshirt that lights up that looks like Sam's Get Up in the second movie. And it's made out of like this dive suit material. I'm like, make that thing cotton, man. I got to breathe. I can't wear that. I sweat in normal clothes.
Speaking of light up, do you know what I bought last Christmas? Not 2023, 2022.
What's that?
Do you remember when they made the light up electrical parade sweatshirt that had the lights on it?
Yes.
I bought it.
Oh,
I
my
have
gosh.
it. I own
Somehow
it. I wear it.
I'm honestly not surprised by that at all.
And to embarrass my daughters, I turned the lights on.
You got to turn them on and find Baroque Hoedown on your phone. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so the Star Wars stuff that they added, they have a Spirit jersey hanging in the window, and you and I have had some very spirited conversations about Spirit jerseys.
Yes, we have.
I found the only one I would wear under a very specific circumstance, and I have to share. So I'll share my screen, and I know everybody can't.
But I
can't see this, but Dave can.
I can see.
I'm going to share my
clearly
Chrome.
Now. His
I have to hurry. Oh my gosh.
scared.
I have to hurry. He's singing. All right. So can you see? Ooh, infinity screen.
It's like Inception.
Right. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. All right.
Is this the I love you? I know.
It is. It's one is Leia, and it says I love you, and it's sparkly and it's white. The other one looks like the color of Han Solo's breeches, his pants.
Right.
It's the blue with the red down the arm, and it says I know. If Blair was a Star Wars fan and she said, I would want these, I would wear it at the same time as her if she wanted me to. That is a very specific circumstance under which I would consider that.
I will do, this is one where you and I will not agree. I'm a Disney guy through and through. I wear Spirit jerseys. I don't care. I will not wear a shirt that matches with my wife through Disney. I will not wear matching shirts.
But you'll Disney bound with your family.
I have.
They don't
Disney
match.
bounded.
They complement each other. The Bible teaches gender role complementarianism, does it not?
It does.
That's what I'm talking about.
I have.
You're
Disney
yawning.
bounded
What are
in the
you
past.
yawning about? Are you okay?
Dude, I'm working
Holy
980s.
cow.
I get to work at 7 a.m. every morning.
Oof.
Now, so
Let's wrap this puppy up then. But I would wear that with her at the same time. And if I got to say though, if she was like, it's hot, I have to take this off. I would. Who wants to walk around with a shirt that just says, I know?
because you know exactly what it means.
But they have to go together.
They don't have to.
I'm not walking
wear
around
that
a shirt with puffy paint, much less one that just says, I know.
I would wear it just because Star Wars fans know exactly.
You would
what
wear
that
it
means.
by itself, but you wouldn't wear it matching with your wife? You're just being contrarian now.
I mean, have you met me? Anyway.
You'll wear a light up shirt, though. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Quick topic.
Quick
We'll
topic.
talk about. Have you seen the Epic Universe reveal?
I have.
What are your thoughts? We're getting the Ministry of Magic.
We're getting 1920s Paris and the British Ministry of Magic. So I hope they're faithful to the movie version. And they're not like, well, none of that would have. We're creating a brand new experience. And I don't mean anything against Galaxy's Edge, but we're creating a brand new experience. And this is how it would have been in Britain in the 20s, you know? Like, I get that you want to show more than one. I wish they'd have just gone full on Harry Potter timeline, Ministry of Magic type thing. So I hope it's pretty much the same because I want to walk through that building. That green tile and all of that with the fireplaces, I have to walk through that building. And if they don't have it, it will be a little disappointing.
Right. What are your thoughts on Nintendo Super Mario World?
What did they say about it?
Just they showed
saw
a
the
little bit of
announcement.
it. Yeah, they showed the
I mean, it's
little
not
bit of
incredibly different, right?
it. No. We've got that. We've got Universal Monsters. So are we getting Halloween Horror Nights every night?
There's got to be at least one. There's got to be at least one.
By the way, we are making a plan to do Horror Nights this year, right?
Yeah.
Like here it is.
Are you going to do it? We made a plan last year as well.
January 31st. I say you and I mark off your birthday weekend like we normally do, and we'll do a guy's trip. Or if I can talk Amanda into going. Which, by the way, I still need you to go buy that owl. My wife hates owls.
That would be that little Hedwig that sits on your shoulder.
Yeah. She sent me a video last night and said, no, of Hedwig. I immediately went to the group text that I've got with Adam and Blair and Amanda and myself and said, Adam, next time you're at Universal, I need you to buy this.
I have to say, the one thing about the concept art I like the most is the portals going into each land.
That's pretty
And
cool.
I know that they've already put that statue with the wand in place.
Because we've seen that.
I'll be interested to see, though, because, you know, concept art, it always differs, right? But I'll be interested to see how much it truly feels like a separate space than where you are. How much are they going to be able to pull off that effect, or is it just this cool, okay, you walk through this narrow thing? And will walking through that narrow thing really get crowded? Will it be okay? I'm just interested to see how the whole thing works.
Well, think about how crowded you get when you go into Hogsmeade.
Yeah, as soon as you go through that brick wall.
Right, exactly. It's
that's Diagon Alley, but yes, that too.
Yeah. And
so
don't
we'll
say
see.
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley.
Diagonally.
Yeah, I have to know what's in the Dark Universe, though. Like, how far are they going to take that?
Right. Are we getting Tom Cruise Dark Universe, or are we getting?
Oh, that would be amazing. I loved that movie.
No, it wouldn't. I know you
movie.
do. I still haven't seen it, but anyway.
When you watch that,
right.
I'll watch Elf. Deal.
Deal. I will start watching it tomorrow.
I love it.
It's easy to find Elf streaming. I can't find Dark Universe streaming. The Mummy streaming.
Stream.
Well,
Tom
I have
Cruise,
to pay for
Mummy. Do you have Hulu?
Yeah, I do.
There you go. Done.
Is it free on the bundle?
It just says Hulu.
Okay, well, I'll check it out.
There you go.
I will watch that tomorrow after I work. All right, so there's our show. Stick around. We'll talk later. Stick around. We will be doing a posted live reaction of Adam reacting to the Ghostbusters Frozen trailer. It's called Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire.
So we'll put that on the group here tonight, more than likely. We might have a spoiler video from this week's show. I don't know. I don't know how much free time Adam has. He's sitting down. So he probably
Anything's
has
possible.
Anything's possible these days. I haven't seen Adam sit down in years.
Even on roller coasters, he stands up. They tell him not to, but he does it anyway.
He does it anyway. I mean, he's that guy on Tron that you saw the video.
Right.
He stands up in that turn. So. All right, y'all. Well, hey, we say it every week. We truly mean that we love you guys, and we love the fact that you follow us on all of our socials. The Unrelated at Birth listener group on Facebook. You've liked and subscribed on all your podcast listening feeds. You've invited your friends. We're still going to try to invite friends and grow the listener group. And for the most part, some of you call the delivery line. Adam, how do they do that?
If you know how to dial a phone, you're in. I mean, you've got 90% of the way there. All you need now is the number 863-345-0088. That's 863-345-0088. Leave a voicemail, and we will play it on the show.
100% of the time, we will play it. Even if you are a computer, we play it.
Even if you're trying to send us a fax, it makes its way on the show.
Guys, we truly mean it. We love you guys. Even if we get 2 downloads, Kathy and Virgil Russell, we would do this show. We love doing this. It's not for the clicks. It's not for the views. It's just a creative outlook for us. But it's also the fact that you listen to us blows our minds. It truly, we love the little community that we have created here. That's over 3 years. Every download we get, every click we get, every listen, every watch we get means something to us. I just want you to know that. We say it every week. We truly do mean it. We love you guys. Adam, take them home.
Yeah, thank you again, everybody. We appreciate it. Stay tuned again. Check out our Facebook. We're going to post a video of my live reaction. Coming up soon, we'll probably mix in some lives. We got Super Bowl stuff going on. There's lots of good stuff that we'll be doing coming up. So keep an eye on all of our feeds. And remember that we love you, but not as much as Jesus does. Stay safe out there. Be kind to one another. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Next week, actually.
Ooh, fancy.